Hey, it's Jim, and this is FRM Part 1 and the refresher exam on Book 3, Financial Markets and Products. Let's see. Property and Casualty Insurance Company collects premiums of $100 million while paying claims of $68 million. Expense ratio 27%. So look down at the bottom. Our questions are what are the combined ratio and the operating ratio? So remember that combined ratio is going to be the claims and the expenses. So you don't even need your calculator for this one, right? So 68 out of 100 is 68% plus the 27. So that's probably the combined ratio. And then we need to figure out that operating ratio, which then includes the dividend then paid to the policyholders and then the investment income of 1%. So if you do the math quickly, you're going to get that 95 and the 96. Notice down at the bottom, we've got in parentheses that operating ratio. Now remember, these are both profitability measures, but the chapter specifically says that that operating ratio is a gross profitability measure. So just remember that they add the dividends because that's kind of like an outflow too, and then you subtract the dividend income. Baseball card collector, avid user of derivative contracts, enters a forward to purchase a rare Babe Ruth baseball card at a price of $8.08. Contract matures in exactly 1 year. The current spot price is $7.88. If the maturity date price is $8.18, the payoff to the baseball card collector. All right, so if we're going to purchase, that means we have the long position. So the price was $8.08. That we agreed to buy it at, it's now $8.18. So we agreed to buy it $8.08. It's now $8.18. So that's $10,000 to the good side. So there we go, B plus $10,000. A farmer raises chickens. Let's see, notices her profits have experienced dramatic increase in volatility, which she expects to continue. To hedge this commodity price risk, the farmer enters an egg futures contract that trades on an organized exchange. Spot price of eggs, $3 per dozen, while 3-month egg futures contract priced at $3.10. Standard amount of the contract is 100 dozen. Farmer needs 5 contracts. The settle price on the maturity date is $3.50 per dozen. Identify the position in the contract and the total profit on the trade. All right, so the farmer has the eggs, so she's going to sell it, right? So we need to enter the contract to sell. So that eliminates C and D. And then you need to do the math, right? So what are we doing? We're just going to take egg futures contract 310 and the 350 and the 5 contracts, and then adjust those, and you get $200 there. So there's the formula in the bottom: 310 minus the 350 times 100 times 5. Minus 200 because she's selling, right? She's short, and the price went up. Price went from 310 to 350. All right, let's see. We import plastics from Canada, export containers to Iceland. All right. Terms for each transaction is full payment within 30 days. Over the next month, the US dollar weakens against the Canadian dollar and strengthens against the Icelandic krona. Identify the type of risk. So look at our choices down there: economic risk and transaction risk. So remember, the economic risk, this is the way I always teach my students. Economic risk is the risk of changing net present values when you have long-term kinds of projects. Transaction risk is, okay, we're going to do this over the next 30 days or so. So C or D is the possibility there. So what do we like? Let's see. Profits will decrease from imports from Canada. So what's happening there? The US dollar is weakening. So yeah, we're probably going to, when we convert those Canadian dollars back into US dollars, we're going to have fewer of them. So there we go. Profits will decrease from imports. And just the opposite will happen with Iceland. Let's see, 1 month call option on Pacific stock, exercise price of 35. Pacific stock is 39. Call price is 6. Consider a 1 month put option written on Atlantic stock, exercise price of 73, and the put price of 1. Expiration date price is 50 and expiration date price is 60 for Pacific and Atlantic. So let's determine the profit for the owner of each option. Boy, this is really just a question of, are we standing on our head like with the call option, or are we standing regularly on our feet with a call option, or are we standing on our head with the put option? So this is just a matter of doing the math. I'll go ahead and give you the correct answer there. Look down at the bottom. Profit is the intrinsic value minus the premium paid. So it turns out to be $9 for both. Now remember, be very careful. If GARP asks you for the profit, you'll do it like this. If GARP asks you for the payoff, then you'll ignore the premium paid. Last one here. Pay fixed, receive floating interest rate swap. So when you read that, we're paying out the fixed, we're receiving the floating. So we're expecting interest rates to rise. So that should be the automatic thought that you have. Fixed swap rate, 5.5%. Secured overnight financing rate, plus 250 basis points. Identify the motivation for entering the swap. Well, I just gave you that motivation, right? Rates are expected to rise. And what is on the first settlement date? If SOFR is 3, well, you do 3 plus 2.5, you get the 5.5, so there's 0, right? Rates are expected to rise, value equals 0, so there's no netting of payments required.